Want to welcome everybody. And we know we'll have more people joining us here in a minute, but want to welcome you for this spotlight program about the Penn State Berks Launchbox. We're excited about it. We have almost 90 people signed up for the program, although we'll talk a lot about this in a minute, but we know that not everybody will be able to join us personally today. I'm Dave Myers. I am the director of the Berks Alliance, which is a collaboration of the anchor institutions in Berks County, which fortunately also includes Penn State Berks and George Grant. And we've been hosting these programs, Spotlight Series programs, for about a year, trying to shine spotlights on very positive things happening in our community that are significant and could be game changers. And this is one we think today that will be like that. I want to go through some ground rules here before we get started. What we do is ask you to mute your microphone while the program's going on. We'd like you to keep your camera on so we know we're dealing with live people. That's always nice. We'll ask you to use the chat function, which you can find at the bottom of the screen, to submit your comments and questions. And when we get done with the formal presentation, we will start using, I'll ask those. We may or may not, depending on how many people we have and how much time we have, call on some of you to ask your questions directly rather than having me do it. But we'll do that. We are recording the event. We will send a copy of the recording to everybody who registered for the event. So we know that we have some people who aren't going to be with us today, but will be with us in spirit, and then we'll watch the show at some other time. We also post it on the Berks Alliance website, so you can find it there. And we will share it with our friends at BCTV, who have not only taken to putting it on the YouTube channel, but have created a Berks Alliance TV program where they will screen the show on their live television network. So we're going to make everybody rock stars today who's doing our presentations. Let me start with the first introduction, and that is George Grant, who is the Chancellor of Penn State Berks and a force in this region. So George, I'm going to turn it over to you for some brief remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dave, for the introduction. Like you said, George Grant Jr. Penn State Berks has been part of this community for over 63 years. And as a land-grant institution, we are committed to strengthening our community, opening doors, expanding our diverse workforce, and helping to create more comprehensive entrepreneurial businesses, access, and relationships to grow our region. Penn State Berks is providing over 26 master's, bachelor's, and associate degrees. It's committed to providing a quality education and strong employment skills, research to answer difficult questions, leadership, and community service to share our talents with others. The Penn State Berks Launchbox, first home was the Penn State Health St. Joseph before it moved to Doggerworth, and the relationship with St. Joe continues as we collaborate on many different projects. So when you hear someone say, we are Penn State, think about the Berks Launchbox as a business accelerator, mentoring, makerspace, equipment, and webinars, all focused on developing businesses in our region. So with that, thank you very much, and I will turn it back over to Dave.
Thanks, George. It's also my privilege to introduce James Delattre, who is the Associate Vice President for Research and the Director of Penn State's Office of Entrepreneurship and Commercialization. And James is joining us virtually from Penn State, from State College.
Well, thank you, Dave. It is a real honor to be here. I wanted to start today by giving a little bit of a backdrop as to why caring about people's daydreams and the work of the launch boxes is well within the DNA and Penn State's long history of service to the Commonwealth. Next slide, please. So programs like the Berks Launchbox and similar service programs have been part and parcel of Penn State since its very beginning. we have a responsibility at Penn State to serve the Commonwealth, and that tracks back to something that George said, and that is our designation as a land grant institution, which goes the whole way back to 1863. Now, land grant universities, they do teaching and research like other universities, but they have an added responsibility to benefit society and to serve the populations of their home state. And this is reflected in everything we do. In fact, Penn State's not a normal 501c3 nonprofit as most universities are. It's an instrumentality of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, designated to serve the Commonwealth. So, of course, in the 1860s, service meant supporting the agriculture industry, which was, of course, the dominant industry of the time. Next slide, please. And over the last 150 years and still today, if you have an ag-related business anywhere in Pennsylvania, you can go to one of Penn State's 67 what are called ag extension offices. There's one in every county in Pennsylvania. And their experts spring to action to make sure that the know-how of Penn State and that expertise is applied to solve the business problem that farmer or ag business has. So it's in our DNA and has been for 150 years to be in service to the business community. Next slide, please. Of course, the notion of extension has evolved over time as society has changed and the industry landscape has changed. At times, programs like home economics were part of ag extension, but consistently, it's been about service to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Next slide. Now, Penn State continues to evolve and grow the ways in which they support the Commonwealth. And it was with the launch of Invent Penn State that the university really wrapped its arms around economic development and connecting that to the land grant mission. So when Penn State President Eric Barron joined the university in 2014, he visited all 24 of our Commonwealth campus locations and had conversations with business leaders, faculty, students, nonprofits, and a pattern started to emerge. He saw that many of our communities were dealing with economic blight and needed some grassroots efforts to drive the economy. We had many entrepreneurial students, faculty, and of course, community members, but perhaps they weren't as supported as they could be. We have world-class research. Penn State does $1 billion worth of research every year, but maybe not enough of that was making its way into society to drive new businesses. And of course, industry comes to Penn State seeking top talent so it can stay competitive in this global market. So Invent Penn State was born with the idea that we can better support our entrepreneurs, leverage our research, support the industry agendas in our communities, all and in doing all this, raise up the Pennsylvania economy. Next slide, please. So that was the vision for Invent Penn State, which aims to drive job creation, economic development, and student career success, meaning that entrepreneurial mindset and those skills you learn are beneficial to any individual that learns them, whether or not they start a company or not. Next slide. And Dr. Barron's intuition is unfortunately borne out by the stats. So Pennsylvania is ranked number 46 in the rate of new entrepreneurs nationally. That's really problematic if you think about the long-term implications of either brain drain or the tax base. So putting our effort into supporting new entrepreneurs is essential. Next slide. And Pennsylvania, because of its legacy as a manufacturing state, has many communities that have been left behind. There's a demographic designation called forgotten cities. And unfortunately, Pennsylvania has more of these forgotten cities than any other state in the union. And next slide, please. Because of the way our Commonwealth campuses were set up over the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, Penn State now is an anchor institution in 15 of those 21 forgotten cities across Pennsylvania. which means we have an opportunity to drive impact at a scale that's unprecedented for any other academic institution. Next slide, please. It's really important we do this through the lens of where the economy is today and where young entrepreneurs' minds are today, right? So the world is vastly different. Our incoming freshmen at Penn State were 5 years old when the iPhone was launched. They were 9 when Shark Tank debuted. So it's really important that we understand where these digital natives are going and our services match their interests. Next slide, please. So to address this problem at scale, Penn State has launched 21 launch boxes across the Commonwealth over the last 6 years. Next slide. And they have many different service models because each of our Commonwealth campus communities is completely different strengths, different needs. Some of the common things you'll see are co-working spaces, maker spaces, accelerator programs to help de-risk businesses, no-cost legal services provided across the Commonwealth by Penn State law, and of course, business plan competitions and outreach and K through 12 programs to support our local high schools and junior highs and so forth. Next slide. So these are dynamic spaces, cool places, and they're designed to meet the needs of their communities. So no two launch boxes look alike. Next slide. And if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I'm pleased to announce that the state of Wisconsin and the Wisconsin system have replicated the Launchbox model. They actually sent a team, worked with them over the course of 4 to 5 months to kind of help them not just understand how to do a business service center, but how you can operate at scale and become a learning network where things can be piloted and taught across a broad geographic area. And we can uniquely do that with Penn State's footprint. Next slide. So the impact has been really phenomenal. I'm not going to go through all these stats, but thousands of entrepreneurs assisted, hundreds of jobs created, nearly 500 internships created, hundreds and hundreds of startup teams graduating from accelerator programs. It's really been there is a phenomenal amount of great work happening in all corners of the state because of this effort. And we still sense that we're just beginning. So we wrap up our fiscal year at the end of July, and we'll start racking new data again, but we're really excited about the trajectory of this network. Next slide. And last thing I'll mention before turning it over to Erica is that we are really thrilled and honored that Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf proposed $2.35 million in his budget this year to support this work across the Commonwealth, with the majority of that funding designated to go to the campuses to make sure this activity can happen for the next year and ideally in perpetuity with support from the Commonwealth. So the budget hearings are currently ongoing, but we are very hopeful that with the legislature's support, we can continue to make this exceptional impact across the state. So I will now turn it back to Erica.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Dave, Dr. Grant, Dr. Delattre. We appreciate the wonderful introductions we've gotten this morning. I'd also like to thank, I saw a few of our advisory council members jump on, Connie, Kimberly, Paul, thank you for joining, and any others I missed that I didn't catch, thank you always for your continued support. We're so appreciative of your time and your enthusiasm for us. So I'm going to get started this afternoon by introducing my amazing team at the Berks Launchbox. So I'm Erica Kunkel. I'm the interim director of the Launchbox. Also on this slide, you'll see Lisa Weaver. She's our social entrepreneurship specialist. Lisa mentors social enterprises. She teaches some classes for us, such as a pitch prep class, and she also leads community health initiatives in partnership with Penn State Health St. Joseph. Patty Lashinsky is our mechanical engineer. She helps startups build prototypes of their ideas. She teaches classes on makerspace equipment and entrepreneurship topics, and she also helps to mentor our startups. Michelle Nath is a software entrepreneur who works with us part-time, mentoring startups and marketing Launchbox events. If you request help from us, Michelle will be the first person that will meet with you. She'll learn about your business idea and provide support. So the Berks Launchbox was funded back in 2016 through Invent Penn State. We were actually created through a partnership with Penn State Berks and Penn State Health St. Joseph. So we together submitted for and received seed funding to create the Berks Launchbox. Our first location was actually in the lower level of Penn State Health St. Joseph's downtown campus. Unfortunately, we found that it wasn't very conducive to a makerspace. We had some ventilation and accessibility issues. So we were able to expand to the GoggleWorks Center for the Arts in Reading back in 2019. And that's where we are currently housed. We have a makerspace and a co-working space there as well. So this past year, fall 2021, spring 2022, we've been celebrating our 5-year anniversary. So I thank you for helping us close out our 5th year with us in this session. Our vision is to increase the number of successful entrepreneurs and new businesses in Greater Reading. And so our mission really is to assist early stage entrepreneurs with accessing the tools and resources that they need to launch and grow in Greater Reading. So whether it's support from advising and mentoring to equipment for prototyping, we're here to help entrepreneurs launch, grow, and stay here in Berks County. 2 quick facts or misconceptions that we tend to receive questions on. The Berks Launchbox helps anyone in the greater Berks area. There's no affiliation with Penn State needed. If we're not the best ecosystem partner to help you, we'll refer to our partners, whether that's the SBDC, SCORE, SBRA, Opaque Center, Chamber, and so on. Another misconception, all of our services are provided at no cost to the startup or entrepreneur. We also do not receive any cut of your company. We're simply here to help you be successful. All right, I'm now going to share a video tour of our makerspace that's led by Patty, who is unfortunately unable to join us today. So this will show you our makerspace located in the GoggleWorks and some of the capabilities that we have for prototyping.
Hello, welcome to the Berks Launchbox. The Berks Launchbox is a no-cost startup accelerator with a co-working space designed to provide early-stage startups with the support and resources they need to build a sustainable and scalable business and have a viable plan for growth. To reach more innovators, the Berks Launchbox encompasses a free makerspace to help innovators utilize tools and equipment that might not be available to them. But what is a makerspace? It is an amazing educational resource for children, college students, and teachers to tinker and create. It also gives opportunities for students to learn more about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The Berks Launchbox includes low-fidelity equipment like a simple button maker or a soldering iron, but it also has high-tech equipment and software for entrepreneurs to create their next prototype. Our makerspace was developed to help our community members grow their business ideas. We have helped artists, activists, engineers, instructors, and students gain knowledge of what it takes to make their dream a reality, and our facility emphasizes technology education to the community. We have hosted programs for scout troops, students of all ages, local YMCA members, STEM teachers, and even GoggleWorks summer camp participants. We have made stickers, keychains, towers with spaghetti, redesigned umbrellas, and pet homes, but we have also followed the engineering design process by brainstorming, prototyping, and discovering customer needs, and then redesigning it again.
Oops.
This is the Forest Scientific FabBot CNC router, which we use to create intricate carvings in wood, foam, or non-ferrous metals. We use VCarve software to create the tool paths for prototyping. These are our own Dremel 3D45 fused deposition modeling 3D printers. We create all types of prototypes on these printers using PLA filament. We host monthly classes on how to get started with 3D printing. Our newest piece of equipment is this Epilog Fusion Edge laser engraver, which allows for more versatility and reliability when creating prototypes. For creating more detailed prototypes, we have a Formlabs 3 3D printer that produces pieces with higher resolutions and smoother finishes. This is our Roland BN20 vinyl plotter. Entrepreneurs use this for signage, banners, stickers, and product labeling. This table is full of tools that we use for prototyping, whether it is a vacuum former for molds or packaging, our Muse laser cutter for cutting or engraving, or our embroidery machine for wearables. Thanks for joining us on this short tour of the Berks Launchbox Makerspace. We welcome visitors to use our digital makerspace to create something to solve a problem, or to build a model to gain feedback from their customers, or to strengthen their students' 21st century skills. In a few short years, we have impacted over 500 kids, 75 teachers, 200 young adults, and we are laying a foundation for these individuals to have a growth mindset in order to establish an entrepreneurial and pioneering spirit. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Hello. Welcome to the
Sorry. So this summer, we're holding Maker Mondays at the Launchbox from 2 to 8 p.m. So feel free to stop by and you can check out the equipment in action. And then finally today, I'm going to share a little bit, some statistics for you. So in 2021, we trained 110 community members on Makerspace software and equipment. We educated over 1,000 community members through a skills seminar, class, workshop, or webinars. And then also in 2021, we assisted 115 entrepreneurs, 52% of those coming back for ongoing support. We helped 17 entrepreneurs build their minimum viable product, and 4 of our 10 co-working companies last year started selling a new product. 42% of our requests for help come from those in the idea or concept phase. In 2021, 30% of the people we helped were people of color. And then in the second half of 2021, that number rose to 49%. We're currently averaging 10 intakes or requests for help per month, and then generally assisting 60 returning startups on an ongoing basis. We're also excited to share that we recently received a new endowment that brings us to a total of $2.4 million of endowed funds to support the Berks Launchbox into the future. And that allows us to continue to support early stage entrepreneurs within our community. And we'll be sharing some more details about that funding soon. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Lisa Weaver.
Great, thank you, Erica. I'm going to share briefly about our programming in general. One of the top reasons that most startups fail is because they build something that no one actually wants to buy. We often use the example of Segway, as shown here. Segway was actually expected to revolutionize the transportation industry, and their launch actually completely failed all expectations. So this is an example we use when working with entrepreneurs. We stress the importance of understanding your customer and their pain points, because the closer you are to your customer, the more likely you will be to build a successful product solving their pain points. Next slide, please. Our programming at the Launchbox is based off of the Lean Startup philosophy, which some of you might be familiar with. Eric Ries wrote the book Lean Startup. It's based off of the process of starting fast, failing fast, and pivoting based off of early customer feedback. One of our signature statewide programs is called Idea Test Lab, and we offer that here at Berks every fall. It's a 6-week program that leads entrepreneurs through what we call validated learning and customer discovery, and basically testing their assumptions about their customers, about their product, and getting outside of the building and interviewing potential customers. Next slide, please. One unique thing about the Launchboxes is that we're able to refer entrepreneurs that are based in Pennsylvania to 2 legal clinics that Penn State offers with free pro bono assistance. And we have 2 clinics. We have the IP, legal and IP clinic, which takes care of all IP related concerns like patents, trademarks, copyrights, and then the entrepreneur assistance clinic, which helps with more of the nuts and bolts to starting a business. So formation, registration, founder agreements, that sort of thing. So next slide. In our actual space at GoggleWorks, we have the co-working area, co-working space, And that is for entrepreneurs who want to work in an innovative environment outside of their house or home. And we offer that rent-free for 1 year. It includes obviously the desk space, locked storage units, private meeting rooms, Wi-Fi, and of course coffee. And then next slide, we also have, as Patty explained, the makerspace. So this is a picture of ladies holding a snowflake that they 3D printed last winter during one of our classes, Intro to 3D Printing. Next slide, please. And our makerspace it's designed to help build prototypes, so early stage designs or first versions of the product for entrepreneurs and for community members. So we have a variety of people coming in here to build things. So just a few examples on the screen. On the left, we have one of our advisors, Marty. He 3D printed a soap dish container for his house. And in the middle is Maggie, one of the GoggleWorks artists.
Avocado.
Sure.
I'll use it up. It's cold.
And Maggie, we helped her print a mold for cutting clay so she could do mass duplication for her project. And on the right is, again, the vinyl plotter in action. And DN Organics, who you'll hear from shortly, was able to use the vinyl plotter to print stickers for their products that they ship out. So next slide, please. We do host free monthly webinars on various topics related to business development. So anything from finance to social media marketing to business accounting, which we just had, and that held a record number of people attended that one recently. And this picture that you see here is from our pitch event that we held at the end of our Idea Test Lab accelerator program last fall. So the participants were able to pitch their business at the end to a panel of judges as well as some of our advisors, and they were able to compete for some prize money. So next slide. We try to be very active in the community. So we'll typically try to partner with GoggleWorks with their events. In the middle is a picture of the Pumpkin Palooza event that we did with them last fall. And then we've hosted several Girl Scout troops as well as K-12 students and educators around STEM workshops. Next slide, please. I'll just close by, again, highlighting our partnership with Penn State Health St. Joseph. Unlike any other Launchbox in Pennsylvania, we do partner with a hospital. And since 2016, we've been applying some of our principles that we teach here to address a few of the health priorities that the hospital has identified for Berks County, including diabetes and obesity. So 2 programs that we're highlighting today are focused on nutrition and healthy food access, really embodying the belief that food is medicine. Next slide, please. So the farm stand, we work with the hospital to host a weekly farm stand at the downtown campus where we initially started the Launchbox back in 2016. And this farm stand runs on Tuesdays. The vendor is Blue Mountain Academy, and they have a organic farm in Hamburg. So they sell both organic and then conventional produce, all at a very affordable rate. Some stats from 2021 here on the screen for you. We had an average of 100 weekly customers that redeemed $400 weekly on average in incentives. So that is anything from state to federal funded incentives like SNAP or EBT and WIC checks. And we're excited to announce we do have some funding to expand the farm stand into next year. So hopefully having some more variety of produce and potentially more vendors involved. Next slide, please. And the next program we're highlighting is our Veggie RX program. It's a fruit and vegetable prescription program that we help Penn State Health St. Joseph to run at the downtown campus as well. And this is an innovative program that seeks to lower overall levels of diabetes and obesity here in Berks County. And it's a program that prescribes vouchers for fruits and vegetables to eligible patients, and it equips them with education as well. So we ran a pilot of the program between 2018 and 2019, and we collected pre and post program data, which we were then able to write a research manuscript report out on. Some of the results of the manuscripts are here on the screen for you. We had 109 patients initially enroll, and they spent over $45,000 on local produce, which is a 78% voucher redemption rate. We're encouraged to see that. It's a higher level than most programs of this kind. And then last slide here is some more stats. Across program participants, there was a drop in A1C of 1.3%. And we're continuing the VeggieRx program with ongoing research support from faculty at Penn State Berks, as well as clinicians at the Penn State College of Medicine. And that's the highlight. I'll turn it over to Michelle to share more details about the startups that we work with.
Hey everyone, so happy to be here today. I'm an entrepreneur of 23 years with a software business with one commercial software product that's winding down. And for the last 3 years, I've been enjoying mentoring startups and marketing the Launchbox 3 days a week. As Erica shared, we've had a great year with over 115 new people reaching out to us for help with their startup ideas in 2021. And a humongous another 60 since January 1st, plus many coming back for ongoing assistance. And I get to work with a whole lot of them, and it's great. These startups have widely diverse ideas like special fishing lures, a concealed weapons detection system, a pet feeding station, an Alzheimer's treatment, a warranty improvement system, custom auto parts, herbal teas, lots of different app ideas, dog treats, mural services, and more. I meet with each startup for 1 hour to learn about their needs and see where we can help them. We give them resources and meet with some of them on an ongoing basis to help them continue to move forward. Others we refer to our wonderful advisors and other resources in Berks County for assistance. One new startup, Karen Tripolitis, is a retired elementary teacher who teaches other elementary teachers how to use yoga and mindfulness in their classroom for 10 minutes a day to improve the mental health and classroom cooperation for their young students. So I've had the pleasure of helping Karen with customer discovery, figuring out her value proposition, creating text for a flyer for schools, and updating her website. Next slide. We have 9 co-working companies presently, and they get free office space, large group meeting space, mentoring, lots of connections, help building prototypes, free legal help, access to small grants, and of course our staff to help and support them. So they just get a higher level of care than the other companies that we work with. The first one I want to tell you about is Risk Healthcare. That was founded to help women feel empowered to advocate for themselves and seek medical treatment by providing educational information through an app and a smart pregnant stuffed animal. This will help decrease the probability of adverse outcomes in minority women, including mother and baby death due to complications faced before and after birth. The business was founded by Talonda Rogers, who you can see presenting on the slide, a nurse and nurse educator who had a baby die just before birth in a preventable way. We've been working with Talonda since September 2021 and helping her with customer discovery, her pitch, mapping out her software app and pregnant stuffed animal ideas, connecting her with local developers for quotes and help with production, and much more. She presently needs $10,000 to $15,000 in funding to build her app and would appreciate any investor leads to support an African-American women-owned business venture. She is pre-sales and has 1 employee. The next company I'd like to tell you about is Enigma Networks. They have a cybersecurity application and they are selling products. A year ago, they onboarded their 6th early adopter, Weidenhammer Systems. And in this slide, you can see founder Mark Viglione in the upper left, meeting with John Weidenhammer in the upper right. Now, Enigma is selling their products through managed security service providers for $99 to $250 a month for small businesses without security staff. Once they hit 100 customers paying monthly, they're going to be looking for investors. We've been working with the founders since October 2019, and some of the ways we've supported them include connecting them with Penn State cybersecurity professors, and the product is used as an educational tool on multiple Penn State campuses. So graduating cybersecurity students know this product and can ask for it when they get a job. We provide constant networking, introducing Enigma to people in the cybersecurity industry. Mark says he gets the very best leads from us. We help them team with local security companies to carry Enigma's product. We provide general mentoring on things like pricing, distribution, VAR relationships. We provided us student interns and marketing advice along with grant money and help connecting with Connie at the Ben Franklin Tech Partners for over $30,000 in funding. Thanks, Connie. Mark has 3 employees currently. Our next company is Verde Mantis, creator of an easy-to-use 3D printer. You can hook any computer, phone, or tablet to it and send it a file. It will figure out exactly how to print the file without you needing to understand the mechanics of 3D printing or tell it anything. They have 3 employees and rent space in the Goggle Works. They're filling orders as fast as they can for this $999 printer right now. We've been helping them for many years, more than I've been here, and I've been working here 3 years. We've been helping them connect to mentors, marketing, grant money, finding employees, and more. And years ago, they were designing and building their first prototypes in our space by designing and printing the parts for it on our 3D printers. So they built their 3D printer with using our 3D printers. The next company is Gen Hydro. This is an exciting one led by Eric Shroud, who has found a way to make a green renewable source of energy. They're creating hydrogen in small mobile units that can be used to power cars, houses, and more. We started working with Eric in August of 2020. Some wins. They just closed a round for $5 million in funds in March with a $50 million valuation on the business. They're renting a 10,000 square foot facility and have 6 full-time employees and are hiring 6 to 8 more engineers. They made a pilot industrial unit microplant this spring, and it's almost complete. It produces 250 kilowatts of thermal energy and 4 kilograms of hydrogen per hour. That is enough to power 7 homes for a day or many cars. With the microplant running around the clock, it could power as many as 168 homes every day. We've helped Eric with customer discovery, presentations, patent resources, prototyping resources, and we connected him with experienced engineers and a Penn State Berks engineering student to help him research and prototype his product early on. Next, I'm happy to welcome Corey Verona Corneal from DN Organics, curly-haired sisters creating all natural hair care products. Go right ahead, Corey.
Thank you, Michelle. Hi, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces today. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. My name is Corey Verona, for the ones that don't know me, and I'm one of the co-founders of DN Organics. There's a beautiful picture of my sister there, Nicole, as well. We are hermanas, which in Spanish means, in English it means sisters, redefining how curly hair products are created to make you feel you. We created custom formulations with for curly hair products, for curly hair that are created to perform beyond synthetics. My sister and I actually just went through a transformation. Our own curly hair struggle was the inspiration behind creating this company. And we are happy that after so many years of struggling and challenges, we were able to launch our product in 2021. So we founded the company in 2018, but you guys know the pandemic happened in 2020, and that actually stopped our whole production and our ingredients were not being sourced. So it wasn't until March of 2021 that we founded our company. Thankfully, we found the support of the Berks Launchbox. We connected with Lisa and Michelle, and also we have worked with Erica and Patty, and they have been instrumental for our growth. Having a business and also keeping a full-time job is very challenging. And then having the support and actually connections to mentors is something that really helps small businesses. We have been able to launch our product successfully thanks to the help of one of the mentors who actually provided an idea to have samples. And as a new business who's introducing our products to the market, we used that idea and ran with it, and it has been successful. And that was thanks to the connection through the Berks Launchbox. Also, Michelle and Lisa have been helping us review many applications for grants. We are a self-funded company, and we actively are looking for funding to continue to grow our company. I wanted to give you some quick stats that we have been able to accomplish in only 15 months. So we were able to sell out of 2 of our products within less than a year. So we have been reordering products because we're selling them really fast. We have been able to ship to 47 states and also to Hawaii, Guam, Puerto Rico, Netherlands, and the UK. So we have been doing a little bit of international shipping too. We are actively working on launching our shampoo and conditioner by the end of the year. So that's gonna increase our sale volume and also our collection. And we have been published in 2 national publications, digital publications that have helped us a lot. We have over 2,000 customers and a 25% return rate. And we also have been working on a rebranding that we have kind of kept a secret, but we are going to be launching a new look to our products by the end of the year. We're actively looking to pitch to retailers, and our hope in the next year or 2 is to be able to launch our products in a natural beauty retailer. So thanks to the help that we have received locally, being in Reading as a beauty business who is mostly e-commerce, with only a small footprint in different curly hair salons. We have been able to reach our customers through social media, and doing it all by ourselves, Nicole and I. We really do appreciate when the ladies from the Launchbox are able to help us and just preview, give us some advice of what we have been doing. Also joining webinars to keep our mental health in sync as well and encourage ourselves to keep going. I think is something that we both have found very beneficial. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share our story and some of the insights that we have been working on. And I truly appreciate all the help that we have received. And we hope to continue to make you proud as we grow our business in the next few coming months.
Incredibly proud. Thank you so much, Corey. That was wonderful. We really enjoy working with you. Next, I will welcome Nathan Bonslaver from Carta Camp, a recent Penn State Berks grad manufacturing a sleeping platform for use in SUVs. Go right ahead, Nathan.
Thanks, Michelle. Hi, I'm Nathan Bonslaver. I'm one of 3 co-founders of Carta Camp. We're all recent graduates of Penn State Berks, all mechanical engineers, and we're all avid campers. We've grown up camping, and recently, accelerated by the pandemic as well, there's been an interest in car camping. As you can see in this picture here, people are building sleeping platforms that are like bed frames that fit in their cars. And then they camp in their vehicles and have storage space underneath. And it's kind of like the van life idea, but in the car you already have. So one of the big things holding people back from going car camping is not everyone has the expensive tools to pull off a project like this, the DIY knowledge. So we set out, and we have by now designed a universally fitting sleeping platform. It ships to our customer's door. It assembles and installs, no tools required. It's lightweight, supports 500 pounds. And yeah, we finally solved the engineering problem of a universally fitting sleeping platform. So we have one product that fits across Subaru Outbacks, Jeep Wranglers, Toyota 4Runners, a wide array. And we've been involved with the Berks Launchbox for over a year now. They helped us in many facets. In the beginning phases, before we went public with our idea, they helped us understand IP law and connected us with the right people who could help us file our first non-provisional patent. They helped us connect with advisors in manufacturing, and they helped us prepare our first pitch decks, which was just last fall. We started doing pitch deck competitions, and I had no idea how to do that. I had never made a pitch deck before, but Michelle helped me out with it. She sat there and listened to all my practice runs. And I'm happy to say that in the past few months now, we've won over $30,000 in non-dilutive funding through various pitch deck competitions within the Penn State network. We got accepted to the Summer Founders Program. So now I've moved to State College and I work at the Happy Valley Launchbox, which is just like a super focus of advisors and grants and funding to accelerate CartaCamp even faster. And it's really fun. Things are growing now. We're shipping our products across the country. We're hearing from our customers, and Berks Launchbox was our first step that set us on the right path to explore more within the Launchbox system that stretches all over. I mean, it's huge, it's everywhere. And yeah, we're excited to keep growing CartaCamp. So thanks for having us here. It's been great.
Thank you so much, Nathan. That was wonderful. Thank you everyone for your time. I will now turn it over to Lisa Weaver.
All right, so in closing, we just wanted to share a few ways that you can get involved if you're interested. We're always looking for more advisors. So if you're a business owner or a previous business owner and would like to give back to the community, please reach out. We're also interested in connecting with you. If you're an investor, we have several mature startups who are ready for seed funding we'd love to connect you with. And if you're a community member who really likes what we do, we encourage you to just spread the word about who we are and what we do in the community to get more people here in our space. And of course, if you're an entrepreneur and you have a business idea, you can go on our website and complete the intake form to meet with us. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Dave.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, team. Wow, what a great presentation. Lots of great stuff here. Just the video was enough to inspire you to want to do stuff. So this is terrific. I've got a bunch of questions that I'm going to run through. Nathan, what's going to take to get you to move back to Reading?
I'm only in State College for the summer. I plan to stay in Reading and build CartaCamp in Reading.
What's the biggest challenge that's facing your business next? What's the next hurdle you have to get over?
For us, so we spent the past year and a half designing our product in a way that it could be built out of my dad's garage because we didn't have access to more funding or advanced manufacturing methods. Now we're getting access to those advanced manufacturing methods and we have some funding behind us. So we're moving towards that next step of mass manufacturability because our current method isn't really sustainable.
And Corey, what about you? What's the biggest hurdle looming in front of you guys?
I honestly, I think it's time. There's really not enough time. There's a lot. We're wearing a lot of hats right now. So what we're doing is we're hiring freelancers and we're getting different consultants and contractors to help us with the marketing aspect of it and also redesigning and branding. We're designing our brand to be more appealing to the retailers and so we can reach more people. So right now that's what we're actively looking to do and working for our business. And we're getting a lot of great help. So our hope is just to be able to pitch to one of the national retailers and be able to increase our brand that way.
Great. Thank you both. Lisa, you mentioned that you're looking for people to help to be service providers, mentors, and that kind of stuff. Can you talk a little bit more about who you're looking for? What types of credentials, what types of experience you're looking for? Is there any criteria?
So yes, I have a few visitors that want to say hello here at the Launchbox, but we really are looking for people in a variety of backgrounds. And the advisor program it's basically a commitment to. Here's Mark Dawson from Penn State Berks, everyone saying hello. We're asking advisors to commit. It's just between 1 to 5 hours per month to meet with startups. And we're looking for a lot of needs right now around finance or business accounting. If you're an accountant, that's a lot of the requests recently have been coming through for that. But just in general, having business experience is really valuable to just be a mentor and provide guidance since you've done it before and provide that one-on-one guidance for our startups. So again, if it's something that you're interested in, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Great. the makerspace looks really incredible, but it also looks like it's focused on a particular types of product that you're doing. And what happens to a business that gets beyond sort of the early stage of the products that they're doing? What did they go to? Sorry.
I'll jump in a little bit with that. We don't have Patty here, unfortunately, who's our makerspace engineer. So right now, we recently had that experience actually, and we reached out to a local manufacturer who was willing to let us come in and utilize a piece of equipment that was way outside of our price range, but they let us use the equipment. They taught us how to use it. So in ways we're leveraging the other local resources that we have to provide those resources to the entrepreneurs and the people that we're working with.
Is there a need for space, for location for the businesses once they get really their feet on the ground to locate their business, to operate their business? Is that something we need to deal with as a community, as a challenge?
I could take that one. We're dealing with pretty early stage startups.
Right.
So you did hear about 2 of our businesses that are renting space. The 3D printing company Verde Mantis and the energy company. So we tend to have the early stage people that are often working from home or using our space. But I think as time goes on, we will have more people looking for space in Berks County as they mature. It's a slow process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Slow process. No, it is a slow process. It doesn't happen overnight. But we want to make sure we have the resources to enable them to be successful. Lisa, could you talk a little bit more about the Veggie RX program? Because it's social entrepreneurship, which is very interesting and something we don't talk about very much.
Sure. So the Veggie RX program is, again, a more upstream way of addressing some of the chronic diet-related illnesses here in Berks County that we are able to help Penn State Health St. Joseph run at the downtown campus. And the pilot was funded by the United Way of Berks County in 2018. And it continues to be funded in part by the United Way. And we've now since had more researchers from the College of Medicine get involved. And it's a program that allows eligible patients to be involved to essentially come back for 6 months for nutrition education with a dietitian. And at each of those sessions, then they're able to get vouchers that they're able to spend at participating retail locations, including our weekly farm stand at the downtown campus, as well as a variety of local businesses in Reading, including Supernatural Produce, some corner stores, and then the Fairgrounds Farmers Market. And we've been just blown away by the initial pilot results of the first pilot program that we ran, and a lot of anecdotal comments from patients that are just really grateful for the program and said it's helped them to learn to change their eating habits, to eat less rice, to eat more vegetables, but also to have that one-on-one peer learning group time has been really valuable for them. And we're looking forward to continuing more of the long-term research with the College of Medicine researchers to really pinpoint the benefit that this can bring to patients, and essentially hopefully becoming like taking a medication for them. So proving that food is medicine. And there's our research manuscript was cited in a couple other reports, and it was used by the national nonprofit Wholesome Wave to do some lobbying already on the Capitol Hill. So we're very excited about what the future holds for that.
Cool. Well, speaking about food, one of the things that I didn't hear much mention about was food processing, that kind of stuff. Is there any thought about doing a food incubator connected with the Launchbox?
We have a food incubator in the Lehigh Launchbox area. And we've had 2 or 3 food companies come to us for startup advice thus far, and the Lehigh Launchbox has been able to assist us with that. And I'm always suggesting the use of the GoggleWorks kitchens that they rent out by the hour.
I wanted to bring it up in part because of that, because I bumped into Craig Poole, who was talking about doing something there and talked about doing a kitchen incubator. So I want to give you a chance to talk about that a little bit. It strikes me as that, we call Reading the pretzel city. It is a food hub, so that there might be, some strong interest here in doing something with a food incubator. I know it's more challenging than some of the other things, but is there any thought about not sending everybody to Lehigh Valley, but doing something down here?
Erica, do you
I'm
want to
sorry.
take that?
There was some discussion on that. I don't know if Dr. Grant wants to share anything related to that. At this point, we're not discussing it, but we were discussing it. But I'm not sure what else I can share for that.
Yeah, I know there's some legal challenges. George, I don't know if you want to weigh in or be quiet.
I can take a couple of minutes on that. That's one of our passionate areas. So yes, we are looking at, we have a group of people, and Keith Kirk was on there as one of them, that we're looking at ways to address some of the food insecurities on healthy eating, training, helping people start businesses around planning and healthy eating, the idea of food trucks, all of those kinds of ideas. So we're looking at the space for that, the training for that, the idea that you can take sort of the Veggie RX piece and with that prescription that you have, and that there'll be other places where not only will you can help people pick out healthy vegetables, but also at the same place, you can help people learn how to cook them so that they're tasty and nutritious as well. And the other piece is the training to help people who then want to start businesses around food, how to do that. So we are having discussions about that, and that will be connected and part of what we're doing with the Berks Launchbox.
Yeah, I know it's a challenge, but that's good news. That's good news. One of the things that I found was impressive was the success that you've had in attracting minority businesses. Can you talk a little bit about, are there particular hurdles that they're facing, and is that a particular challenge? It's an opportunity in Reading, obviously, in Berks County.
They do have a particular difficulty finding funding, as they need funding. So that is a definite challenge. But
Yeah.
most of the people we have are at a very early stage and have wonderful ideas and wonderful follow through. So we will be tracking them and helping them as best we can and referring them for things that we can't. And we enjoy just having a variety of people come right into the Launchbox and meet us, because we are in downtown Reading and we are in the place where we can be noticed.
Great.
I'll also quick mention, I'll piggyback off of Michelle and say that we are fortunate to have a lot of word of mouth. So if someone has a really good experience with us, they refer a friend to us. And so a lot of people heard about us through a friend or family member. And we are, I would say, one area where we maybe aren't as equipped to address is the Spanish speaking business owners. And that's something that there's a huge need for in Reading. I will say we are working more collaboratively, as you know, with the other business service organizations in Berks County to address that. And that includes the Latino Chamber of Commerce, GRCA, and a few other partners. So hoping to address that more collectively.
Great. Well, we're almost out of time. I do have one more question. James, what's a forgotten city and how do we get Reading out of that box?
So yeah, it's a demographer's term that speaks to cities that have a certain level of income, age, and it speaks to population growth. The way that you get out of it, and that designation is a little bit old, so we'd have to go back and check, but it's by doing exactly what the Berks Launchbox is doing. It's investing in young entrepreneurs, growing new businesses, attracting capital from out of markets to build infrastructure and have businesses scale. So I think, as was demonstrated by the startup founders on this call, the infrastructure is there. It's just a matter of time before that designation is erased.
That's great. That's great. And the Launchbox will be a significant part of having that happen. I want to thank you all. Penn State Launchbox, Berks Launchbox, terrific presentation, great program, and really a game changer for Reading. So that's really, really great. As I mentioned, we will send this video to everybody who's been on the presentation, who's been on our discussion. And we also post it on the Berks Alliance website, and we will send it to our friends at BCTV, who will display it in several different ways. I want to thank you guys again. It was really, really terrific. Thank our audience for joining us, and I hope you will all join us on June 30th when we do a Berks Alliance Community Forum focusing on the Berks County Economic Development Strategy, which this fits into, called Imagine Berks. So see you hopefully on June 30th. Thank you for joining us today. Terrific job.
Thank you, Dave.